it's almost playoff time, and that means the best teams in their region and class will do battle. We'll have highlights from all the big games, but for full playoff coverage, you'll want to check out our Blitz Facebook page and scnow.com. There you'll find information about some of the top teams in the area, links to polls and video posted throughout the week, and there's information about how you can sign up for our football text alerts. And while you're there, vote for our play of the week. In week 9, it was Quayshawn Brockington who ran away with the play of the honor, literally. He went for 99 yards for this touchdown that you see as Carvers Bay went on to blow out Creek Bridge. Now, who will win the final regular season play of the week? That's up to you. Just log on to Facebook and vote. And one quick reminder, you can still send us playoff picture perfect plays. Just upload your best shots to Facebook. I'll see you next week for a playoff edition of The Blitz. Reporting in the studio, I'm Melissa Younger, News 13 Sports. I'm Melissa Younger, and this is your 2-minute morning. The Coastal men's basketball team is having their best season ever. Saturday night, Cliff Ellis and company not only continued their winning streak, but they also made history in the process. And to get a good sense of just how good this team is, just look at the numbers. Right now, the Chanticleers riding a 16-game winning streak. The last time they lost was all the way back on November 18th against Georgetown. The Chants are now 9-0 in Big South play. That puts them atop the conference. With yesterday's win over Gardner's Webb, the Chants not only extend their winning streak, but they also make history as the first Big South team to start 18-2. That record also means Coastal has the nation's third longest college basketball winning streak. So just how long can CCU keep this streak alive? Well, here's a look at their upcoming schedule. CCU's halfway through a road trip, but they still have High Point on Thursday, followed by Radford on Saturday. Then Coastal returns home for games against Liberty and VMI. The Hartsville Red Foxes officially have a new gym, and it's pretty impressive. The arena can seat 2,100 people. That's double what the old gym held. There's a new 4-sided scoreboard with the Red Foxes logo, and in addition to the court, there is offices, a coach's room, film rooms, and locker rooms for officials. And for the very first time, both the varsity and JV teams have separate locker rooms.
The first day we came in and practiced, we were all so excited to be able to step in this arena. But we had a great turnout the first and second ball game here. And it was awesome to have people coming at you from every angle. So that will definitely be a home court advantage.
And sometimes you have to spend money to make money. The gym costs just over $4.8 million, but the school's athletic director thinks the gym can actually boost revenue by almost 50%. And finally, over in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers punched their ticket to Super Bowl 45. I'm Melissa Younger. That does it for your 2-minute morning. Hope you have a great day. In the past 5 seasons, Steve Spurrier's done few things coaches at the University of South Carolina have ever done. He's taken his team to a bowl game in every year but one, and he actually won a bowl game back in 2006. So heading into the 2010 season, expectations are high. Coach Spurrier discussed this year's goal at the SEC Media Day in Alabama. The coach says the team's a long way from where they need to be a contender in the SEC, but Coach Spurrier says he thinks he's starting to bring in the type of players who can lead the team to a national title. And among those players is Burns standout and running back Marcus Lattimore.
Really a sign that South Carolina football is healthy, in good shape, and heading in the right direction. And Marcus, along with Alshon Jeffrey and Stephon Gilmore last year, some national recruits in-state, I believe we can win big at South Carolina.
USC opens their season at home on September 2nd against Southern Miss. Meanwhile, South Carolina tight end Wesley Saunders is among several SEC players in the center of an NCAA investigation. It stems from a party hosted by an agent in Miami. Now, the question isn't who went to the party, but rather who paid for it. Yesterday, Coach Spurrier addressed the situation with Saunders, and he says that Saunders told him he did nothing wrong while in Miami. The NCAA, though, will continue to investigate. USC isn't the only team under the NCAA's watchful eye. Officials are also looking into Georgia. Bulldogs wide receiver A.J. Green says he's not concerned about the investigation because the Somerville native says he's never even been to Miami. The NCAA is also looking into Florida and Alabama. Crimson Tide coach Nick Saban spoke out about the issue today at SEC Media Day, and he says it's agents, not players, who are to blame.
So this is not a matter of sequestering the players. It's a matter of who should be more responsible, a 20-year-old player or a 40-year-old man who's supposed to be a professional. And if they'd quit acting like pimps and act like professionals, we wouldn't have this problem. So it's not the players' issue. The players are being entrapped by all this stuff.
And finally, a former Gamecock will make a visit to the PD this weekend. Atlanta Falcons star John Abram will help dedicate a track at Lamar High School. Abram played at Lamar, and he donated more than $100,000 to the school a few years ago for the construction of the track. Of course, News 13 will be there for the dedication ceremony this weekend, so count on us to keep you covered. That's sports. I'm Melissa Younger. It seems like we're flying through the season, but we do want to take a moment to invite you to be a part of a very special day. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, News 13 is going all pink, literally. On October 15th, you can tune in and watch our Pink Out. If you know of any high school teams going pink for breast cancer awareness, just let us know on Facebook. And we have our first 2 picture-perfect plays. Thanks to Rachel Duke for uploading these pictures. This is Carvers Bay quarterback Rollins Greer hard at work, and Rachel also snapped a great picture of CBay's Chad O'Donnell making a big tackle against Andrews. Make sure you keep your pictures coming. And finally, in week 6, Jabo Lee ran away with our Play of the Week honor. He rushed for 183 yards and 2 TDs. Don't forget to vote for this week's Play of the Week. I'll see you next week for week 8 and our Pink Out. For now, reporting in the studio, I'm Melissa Younger, News 13 Sports. There isn't enough time on the Blitz to highlight every game going on, so we're asking for your help. If you have a picture-perfect play, we want to see it. Just upload your best photos of your favorite team or player to the Blitz Facebook page. Make sure you include the player or player's name and the school. And then each week, I'll be back to reveal your picture-perfect play of the week. And this past week, Waccama's Jalen Simmons' long run with the big dive here at the end didn't score a touchdown, but it did earn your vote as last week's Play of the Week. And now we want you to vote again. Just let us know who you think should earn this week's top honor. Plus, if there's anything you think we should know about or that's coming up, just drop us a line. And to do so, just become a fan of the Blitz on Facebook. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Until next week, reporting in the studio, I'm Melissa Younger. Jeff, back to you. The Clemson Tigers lost a close one to in-state rival South Carolina last week, but tonight they hope to put that behind them and bounce back in their first ACC game of the season. The Tigers in Tallahassee taking on Florida State. Clemson actually up at halftime, so Florida State playing from behind. They would have to move the ball all the way up court, and then they would be capped off by Bernard James with that slam dunk. That would put the Seminoles actually back on top. It looks like the Tigers are going to have a shot clock violation as they would move the ball around, and then at the last second, it'd be Tanner Smith. He drains that 3, and that puts Clemson back on top. They would go back and forth for the whole game. But the Seminoles, they keep pushing on. This time, it's Davius Dulkey with the deep tray, and that would be one of his 17 points. Florida State actually goes on to top Clemson. Final score, 75-69. Clemson loses their first ACC contest of the season. As for the Lady Tigers, they're also in action on the road against Samford. The Tigers lose by 10, 58-48 your final. The women now 6-3 on the season. There is good news. The Tigers get a chance at redemption against another Alabama team. Clemson and UAB play Wednesday at 7. The Carolina Forest boys basketball team continues to gel. It's a squad full of new faces as the team welcomes 9 new players. On Friday, the Panthers beat Myrtle Beach on the road in overtime. A big part of that win was senior Jordan Simbeck, but playing big in big games is what he does. Making baskets is nothing new for Jordan Simbeck. But it's this jumper that lands him in the record book as he scores 1,000 points.
It means a lot. I've been here since 7th grade, so I've played with just about everybody that's been here. But it means a lot to me since I'm the first one.
Simbeck's a straight shooter on and off the court, a reputation to be proud of.
He's like a coach on the court. He understands the system. He knows what we want to get and when we want to get it and how we want to do it. So having that type of knowledge on the court, huge plus for our team.
He has great character. He's a good student. He always has a good attitude, and he's just always been a leader since 8th grade.
Jordan scored a lot of points on this very court right here at Carolina Forest, but for him, it's not playing here, it's rather who taught him how to get here that stands out.
I've grown up as a family. My brothers played, sisters played, just about everybody in my family's played. And I go home, I watch basketball, I come to practice, and I mean, my family's oriented around basketball.
Now, Sidbeck and the Panthers play North Myrtle Beach on Tuesday. Well, moving up to the NFL, the Carolina Panthers, well, they're still looking for win number 2. The Panthers at home today against the Atlanta Falcons. Midway through the first quarter, the Panthers down 7-0, but that gap would widen. This is Matt Ryan. He links up with Harry Douglas. That's a 46-yard gain. It would eventually set up a 1-yard touchdown. Atlanta up 14-0. Here comes Carolina. They would eventually get on the board. It's Mike Goodson. He goes in for the 13-yard touchdown. It's 17-7 Atlanta. The Panthers would actually get a field goal. They'd have 10 points on the day. The only problem is they can't stop Atlanta's Michael Turner. He would burn them for 112 yards on the day. The Panthers, they lose their 7th straight game by a final score of 31-10. Carolina now owns the NFL's worst record at 1-12. And here's a little bit better story, a very festive move today at the Sharks shootout in Florida. It would also be a good day for former Coastal Carolina standout Dustin Johnson and Ian Poulter. Poulter on the 18th hole would set up Dustin Johnson for a nice finish. Here's Johnson. He would eventually knock that in, and Johnson and Poulter would go 30 under for a 2-stroke win over Graham McDowell and Darren Clark to win the Sharks shootout. So, pretty good news for CCU's Dustin Johnson.
Definitely representing South Carolina. Look at that. We'll get one last look at the weather when we return.